Adavai Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Dev Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Visas Namao Krishna Padaya Krishna Prishaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Acharya Nirviche Shashwatavati Vashyati Namo Mahapadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayati Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Hine Pratishe Hare Krishna Krishna Gope Gopika Shri Radha Kanta Namaste Radha Chakravati Vrishabhan Sudevi Pranamami Hari Nilachara Nityaya Palamara Shri Jagannath Vacha Padita Hare Krishna Chaitanya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Yatripatamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatari Paramanama Shri Chaitanya. Today we are going to discuss the Chaturshloki Bhagavatam. This comes in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th chapter, text 33 to 36. In these 4 verses, the Lord is giving the essence, the knowledge of the Bhagavatam to Brahmaji. These 4 verses encapsulate the entire philosophy of Srimad Bhagavatam, the crux of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, how the Lord is able to reveal all the divine instructions through just 4 verses. That is also quite instructive. So, in just 4 verses, that goes to show that spiritual life is very precise. It can be elaborated for better understanding and inspiration and case study example, but it is very, very precise. So let's take it up. So we are going to 2933. Ahameva sameva te nanyat yat sat asat param pasyadaham yadetacha yo avashishye tasya asmi asmi. Translation: Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation, when there was nothing but myself. nor was there the material nature, the cause of the creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of God. And after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of God. Srila Prabhupada explains very beautiful points of the purpose. Agre. The Lord is telling before the creation it was I was existing. Now what you are seeing in the creation is also I. And after the annihilation also I exists. Srila Prabhupada explains that the impersonalist misuses this particular verse, saying that okay, this denotes the principle of oneness. So everything in the creation and everyone in the creation is same as the Supreme Lord, because the Lord is existing everywhere. It is why the Supreme Personality of God. The Srila Prabhupada explains that the Supreme Lord is the creator and Brahmaji is the creator. So the Supreme Lord is the predominator I and Brahmaji is the predominated I. So therefore, there are these two I's which are eternally separate. So even if we accept the principle of oneness, that everything is one with the Supreme Lord, still there is a qualifier there. It is a predominator one and it is a predominated one. And this predominator and predominated qualification always remains for eternity. Always remains for eternity. Just like Prabhupada gives the example, the father, the son, the grandson, they have oneness. What is that oneness aspect? They are all human beings. But they can never be same. Father cannot be same as son or grandson. Grandson is grandson for always. Father is father always. It's not that son will get promoted to the position of father or supersede the position of father and become grandfather. That doesn't happen. So their oneness is only there in the aspect that they are all human beings. So it says that therefore Prabhupada is saying the relativities of the creator and the created, or the predominator and the predominated, have been differentiated in the Vedas. Therefore, the Vedas are highlighting and explaining what are the relativities, what is the difference between the two, saying that the predominator I is the feeder of the predominator. So Brahmaji is seeing the Supreme Lord face to face, Supreme Lord face to face, in his transcendental eternal form, which exists for all time, before the creation, during the creation, after the annihilation. Therefore, the form of the Lord exists in all circumstances, creation, maintenance, and annihilation. So this also shows that the kingdom of God, Prabhupada says further, is not void as conceived by the impersonalists. The Vaikuntha planets are full of transcendental variegatedness, including the four-handed residents of those planets, with great opulence of wealth and prosperity, and there are even airplanes and other amenities required for high-grade personalities. The existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead implies the existence of the Vaikunthas, because the existence of the king implies the existence of the kingdom. Okay, if Lord is present, Everywhere, Lord is the predominating principle. Why is not Lord seen in the universe, in the universal affairs? Prabhupada answers that. Prabhupada says that the activities of Brahmaji and other demigods during the maintenance of the creation are to be understood as the activities of the Lord. The king or the executive head of the state may not be seen in the government offices, or he may be engaged in royal comforts. Yet it should be understood that everything is being done under the direction and under his direction, and everything is at his command. That the sun is not visible to the eyes of the inhabitants of a particular part of the earth does not mean that the sun has no power. Prabhupada further answers the question of impersonal Brahman and the personalized form of the Supreme Lord, saying that yes, yes, that the impersonal Brahman, which is the glowing effulgence of the body of the Supreme Lord, may be called as the immediate cause. But the cause of all causes or remote cause is the Supreme Personality. Therefore, the Lord is materially impersonal. Prabhupada is concluding, materially impersonal, just as executive head of the state may be impersonal in the government offices, although he is not impersonal in the government house. In the government house, the Lord is not impersonal, but in the government offices, the head will be impersonal. Similarly, the Lord may be materially impersonal. So he's working through his energies. And then Prabhupada concludes this purport by saying that one should not be attached to the root of everything, or one should be attached to the root of everything rather than being bewildered by the branches and the leaves. That is the instruction given in this verse. That one should be attached to the root of everything rather than getting bewildered by the branches and the leaves. That is the instruction given in this verse. So these four verses explain on the three aspects of devotional service, or the three stages of devotional, the three aspects of devotional service: Sambandha, Abhidaya, and Prayojana. So text 33, the Lord is speaking about Sambandha. How to establish so Sambandha, our relationship with the Supreme Lord, the connection with the Supreme Lord, that is Sambandha. Sambandha. So Sambandha requires to have a good connection with the Supreme Lord, to establish and to strike a relationship with the Supreme Lord. What is needed is to understand, to have knowledge of God, who is God, to have knowledge about our own selves, that what is our position. And what is the depth or importance of our relationship with the Supreme Lord. These three aspects are required. Here the Lord is explaining that this material world, there is a constant flux of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. And this keeps going on. And the Lord is explaining that if one strikes a relationship with this changing flux, then that relationship or connection will give one the experience of emptiness and vacuum, because creation will no longer remain. It will come to the state of maintenance, and maintenance will no longer remain. It will come to the state of annihilation, and annihilation will no longer remain. It will again be creation. So identifying or connecting with the constant flux because whatever one relates with and connects with, it takes time to develop relationships, strike a relationship and connection, and it will no longer be there in due course. So that kind of relationship, that relationship becomes defunct or futile after a certain time. Therefore, nothing of this material world is worth relatable. Because it is said that more things change, the more we need to take shelter of things we don't change. And there is only one thing which doesn't change. And the Lord is very mercifully revealing that Aham eva sam eva kri. So that thing which does not change, which is the very pivot around which everything is revolving, has to be beyond the creation, maintenance, and annihilation. That is worth taking shelter of, or that is worth striking a relationship, and that is the supreme part. The Lord is revealing, I am beyond the creation, maintenance, and annihilation. So, therefore, we see this understanding of oneness qualitatively and not quantitatively. This very understanding, this complete understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very essential to establish someone. Now, the first understanding is the Lord is the predominator, the feeder. The Lord is beyond everything. So we all look for stability and steadiness in our life. Nobody is happy, say, having a temporary job, only 1 month job, 2 month job, 1 week job, 1 year job. If there is no other option, one may take that up. But everyone will be very happy one has a permanent job. permanent visa, no? Steady and stable. Steadiness and stability is what everyone looks for. But in this constant changing flux of the material world, where is steadiness and stability? Nowhere there is steadiness and stability. So therefore, modern day, the algorithm is flowing around, or the fashion which is flowing around is that, okay, let's flow around with the unsteadiness and be a part of the unsteadiness and make ourselves also a part of the flow. That's the kind of algorithm which is going on in the world, but that is making people's life more and more miserable. Changing fashions, changing partners, changing gender, no? That's making people more and more miserable. That's making people more and more mentally deranged. Happiness is exercise on the ground of stability. This is how we can understand that, you see, we are not meant to uh, we are not meant uh, to fluff around in the changing flux. We are wired for steadiness and stability, and therefore an intelligent person will look for that personality who is beyond the creation, maintenance, and annihilation, because that relationship will last uh, all the changing flux. Yes, question. But stability always, big good. Because we have someone saying we are stable, but we are always active. We are always active. Active. Physical activity. Yes. That stability hinders us not to okay, so stability hinders us to do any activities because we are active. We need change. That is not true. Instability inhibits activity. Instability inhibits activity. Instability inhibits activity. It doesn't lead to activity. Uh, uh, Changing flux inhibits activity. It doesn't make one active. It rather paralyzes the person, because activity will be inspired, or activity is reinforced when one knows the ground. When one knows the depths in the ground, then one can actually perform very nicely. That is why cricket teams perform the best on their home grounds, because they know all the parameters. They are able to perform the best. When they go to another place, the time zone is different, the fooding is different, the weather is different, the pitch is different. How they ball, the ball bounces differently. Difficult to play around. So, and always if they are changing, very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. So, it's just like people, some companies have the shift duty. There is A shift, B shift, C shift. And 2 days A shift, 2 days B shift, 2 days C shift. 1 day is holiday. So when this is the case, then people are most miserable. People are most miserable. Now, it's not exciting. It's not adventure. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Performance is also inhibited. Health is also exploded. Relationships also go for a toss. Everything is topsy-turvy. It's not exciting. So I've heard accounts of experience of devotees having A shift, B shift, C shift. They say that we don't know, we don't understand what is day, what is night, when to eat, when not to eat. When now the sensation of hunger has gone, the sensation of sleep has gone. All time there is sleepy sensation, because someday they are sleeping in the morning, because they came from night shift, So morning 6 o'clock they go to sleep. Some days they wake up at 4:30 because they have to reach at 6 o'clock for the shift. Someday they wake up at 8 o'clock. So the body cycle is so miserable. They don't understand when to sleep, when to eat. All sensations of eating, sleeping, all are gone. That doesn't mean they have become liberated. They have become completely miserable. So change, change. When things are steady, one can actually get footing, grounding, depth. It is depth which gives us experience of satisfaction and fulfillment, not the width, not the width, not the width. Like if somebody is jack of all trades, he will not get job anywhere. In job, they want to see one place where you have expertise. You say, no, I have know-how everything. Okay, no job to such a person. And research also, they want to see one one area where you have done very nicely. No, I know everything. You may know everything, but you won't get admission. Admission comes by depth. Admission comes by depth. Salary comes by depth. Which company gives salary for change? Okay, today I'll work on finance, tomorrow I'll work on medical equipment, and the day after tomorrow I'll work on social entrepreneurship. Next day I'll work on food. Who will give you a job, right? Yeah, job focus. So this idea of so titillations, when titillations become the basic norm, that that leads to enormous misery. Yeah, inactivity comes because of the change. So in consulting companies, this people will say that when they give a new project, people stop working on the previous project. They get bewildered. I mean, uh, uh, so inactivity comes. Therefore, actually, this state of inactivity, the Maya Shakti, now this material world of flux is so fast changing that practically it makes a person paralyzed. Therefore, nobody thinks, why am I suffering? Who am I? So why this question is very bewildered? I mean, this question is very, this position is very strange. But nobody is thinking, who am I? Nobody is thinking. They can't think. The intelligence is there. Nobody is thinking. Why they are paralyzed and numb? Because of this change. Because the moment one makes sense of the parameters, what is there in the situation changes. Again, one is like, whatever, again, one is trying to make sense of the parameters. How will I survive? Where is my footing? Where is my footing? And again, situation changes. Again, the person is such a person is made not dumb, and person is just watching. He's just bewildered, intoxicated. This is the state of slumber which a person is in, and such a state one can go on being there eternally. This is the perpetual algorithm for entanglement and bondage and intoxication. To get out of it, one has to see beyond this changing flux, and that is why striking the relationship with the Lord. The Lord is the predominator. We are the predominated. We are eternally dependent on the Supreme Lord. So we are eternally dependent on the Supreme Lord. So, therefore, one has to use his intelligence to analyze and understand that I am not a fit in this material world. My fit is very good. I'm a good fit, the best fit with the Supreme. The living entity is the best fit with the Supreme Lord. So only when one comes to this realization that I'm the best fit with the Supreme Lord, the sambandha is established. Like say, for example, Uddhav ji is saying, Kam va dayalum sharanam vijema. He's saying, no, he's talking about uh, yeah. So Uddhav ji is remembering that, yes, that Khichari, Putana. Yeah. Bhokakiyam sanakala bhutam. And goes on, So the Bhakti means Putana. She had poisoned her breast. She wanted to give poison to the Lord. The Lord took the good that okay, she's coming to feed me. That aspect the Lord is taking, giving her the position of a Dhatri in the spiritual world. Nigam Saya, she wanted to kill. She was very cruel. Nigam Saya. Asati. Asati. Ah, yeah. Lebhe Gatim. What is the Gati? The Lord sent him Uchitam, the topmost destination of being a Dhatri, the spiritual world. Who can be a more merciful Lord? Who can be a more merciful, worthy shelter for anybody? Where else can should anyone go to take shelter? One can never find a more merciful shelter than the Supreme Lord. So Uddhavji has realized that he is the best fit with the Supreme Lord. This is called a sambandha. Kham vadaya sharanam prajena. This is called a sambandha, that I am a best fit with the Supreme Lord. I am a best fit with the Supreme Lord. Yes. Without not whatever one is doing without Krishna consciousness, it's not productive, it's waste. Yes. Yes. Only in the right ground we can do. Yes. So on a changing ground, what are we going to perform? So the example and analogy Bhagavatam is given, the children are making sand castles on the ocean beach. What do they use? Even if we make a very beautiful castle, what is the use? What is the use? The waves of the ocean will come and wash it off. And we say, no, I can take selfie and I can put it in the uh, social media, like that, but many times we see even social media platforms also come and go, is it not? If there was some social media platform only, it got washed up, no? Where are you putting in? What are you putting in? And for whom you are putting it? So all these illusory traits do not last for long, Some wave will come and go, Uh, right? So there were these. Huh? After Orkut, also there are social media platforms which went up. TikTok went up. There were these TikTok stars, and they were thinking, "I am a superstar in TikTok." But TikTok only got washed up. What superstar? so, so one may be a superstar in one particular social platform, and that platform only goes away. Then there is no superstar. Now there is only a scar. Yeah, no superstar, only a scar. This is the problem. And when one understands this, that let me not try to invest in all these titillations. Uh, my prime sustenance should come from a very stable source. So that is called as sambandha. Therefore, to understand the sambandha, one needs to understand that yes, how the Lord is beyond all these inebrities, all these turbulence, all these ups and downs. Yes, real life starting when one is spiritually awakened. Everything is being arranged by the Supreme Lord. As a second aspect, because the Lord is beyond. So Prabhupada is saying, see, so how beautiful Prabhupada is explaining the purpose. The Lord is beyond the creation, maintenance, annihilation. The existence also, that is, the Lord is the worthy shelter. The Lord is always going to be there, no matter what happens. Whatever be the turbulence, the ups and downs, the crest and trough of the material world, the Lord is always a worthy shelter. Then, the presence of the Lord implies the existence of Vaikuntha Lokas, where we belong to. Where we belong to. Where we belong to. That is explained. Then it is explained. So now this is one part. This is half part of the understanding. That okay, we are predominator, we are predominant. Now, the other aspect of sambandha, that oneness and quality is also very important to understand. Why? Because Why? Why? Because one understands that the Lord is impersonal only in the material world. And the Lord is 100% impersonal, or rather, very technically speaking, the Lord will be impersonal only when we have material consciousness. You know, very, very precisely, technically speaking, the Lord will behave impersonally only when we have. Now, with impersonal, very difficult to strike a relationship. What sambandha with impersonal? You know, there's no sambandha with impersonal. And that is why it goes against our nature. We are misfit for that. And that's why Gopakumara is there in the Brahman, and Gopakumara is not able to tolerate. What is this? You know, I have nothing to do. So, because we want relationship. Relationship can be there with the person. But the Lord is impersonal as long as we have material consciousness. But the same Lord is personal, is personally available uh, in the government house, in his own palace, and we belong to that palace. So oneness and quality means that we belong to the family of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is our Suhrat, the well-wisher. Supreme Lord is our eternal well-wisher. Supreme Lord eternally, unconditionally loves each and every jiva. So what is that oneness and quality? That oneness and quality is that we are the same family as the Lord. And Lord Krishna's love for us remains available, eternally for us, unconditionally for us. So when we understand that, the qualitative oneness is that sense of that loving relationship, that sense of that oneness is that loving relationship. That Krishna is my best friend. Krishna is my best comrade. So that is exactly the oneness and quality. That's what oneness and quality is all about. But if one only focuses on oneness aspect, forgets about the qualitative and quantitative differentiation, then that becomes the last snare of Maya, as Prabhupada says. So then one gets bewildered and one gets proud. So therefore, one has to understand that I belong to the Supreme Lord, but my perfection is realized in my dependence on the Supreme Lord. My subservience to the Supreme Lord ensures the perfection of my existence. We are defunct and useless at best. Disconnected to the Supreme Lord, we are defunct and useless at best. In average analysis, we are toxic to ourselves as well as to the whole world if we are disconnected to the Supreme. Yes, question. The marriage if somebody is Brahma realized, not the magic to them. But most of the people who go to that path, mostly they go to spiritual and seem to be affected by the Lord because they are very much and very few people really falls. So, by the sense, they are so many emotionally, they are so much attached to it, so there is no loss. Okay, which book you read this? So, there is a possibility that those who are Brahman realized can go further, but they have to, just like Gopakumara was there, Brahman realized, he was merged, he had merged in Brahman, and he's getting the realization as if somebody is snatching away his identity. And he was not happy there. He saw the devotees who were passing by, he was attracted to them, and he came back to earth, he performed devotional service, perfected his life, and then went back to Bharat. So, because in Brahman, how will you take class? Because everyone is intoxicated, they have that feeling that that they're losing their identity. So for spiritual realization, they have to come down and practice. This is what the Brihad Bhagavatam is. And secondly, that most of the people go back to God. So I'm not sure about this quantification statistic, whether Prabhupada does mention it or not. So we'll have to look exactly. There is a possibility that one in Brahman can, so the devotees like Narada Muni are passing by, they are preaching, So there is a possibility that from there, so but most likely what we understand from Bhagavatam is anyone, even one who wants to go further, has to come back to the earthly planet or similar such planets and then perform devotional service and then go back to Earth. So there's no direct route from there. So there's no direct flight from there. They have to come back. And, hmm? Your residence of Brahmaloka is a different thing. Brahman is a different thing. Brahman means Aruya Krishena Parampada. They have to fall down. For want of activity, for want of connection. Enough. So Brahmaloka is another story. Brahmaloka people are quite pure. Quite pure. So the so by default they go when Brahmaloka is destroyed, everybody along with Brahmaji they go to the Vaikuntha. And if they have purified enough, then they can stay in the Vaikuntha. If not, then they will be sent for another term. Brahmaji, this is what happens. So, uh, so yes, the point is okay. Those grounds are more pure, but they have their own challenges also. Like now, one may wonder, oh, Brahmaji, after the Brahmaloka is destroyed, the annihilation, Brahmaji is going to Vaikuntha. If Brahmaji is going to Vaikuntha, then why the qualifier is said that okay, if Brahmaji is not fully purified, then he can continue staying, but otherwise he'll be given another Brahmaloka. Or he may degrade also, because we see Brahmaji going down also. So somebody has gone to Vaikuntha and seen Lord Vishnu. How can such a person degrade? Yeah? How can such a person degrade? So what is the reason? What is the reason? The reason is Brahma, because of this too much power, may get intoxicated and Brahma arrogant. And so that means that Brahmaloka has different kind of challenges. You know, it is easy for us to feel humble, because anyway nothing very much works out by showing our caliber. Brahmaloka is not like that. People have caliber. So will it be so easy to feel humble and dependent on the Lord? The big question mark there. So is it really favorable to go to Brahmaloka? It's a big question mark. Yeah, first everybody becomes a Brahma. First, everybody becomes a Brahma. Coming from the spiritual world, every jiva, the Lord makes him Brahma. So Brahma means they are getting darshan of the Lord. And now they have to give report to the Lord. The Lord comes and teaches every day, how to do the construction. After that, somebody can fall down to animal species, to hellish life, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Tala, Tala, Rasatala, hellish planets. After becoming Brahma, getting association of the Lord, one can fall down. That means Brahmaloka has very deadly kind of planets. It's not so easy to be humble there. That is why earth is glorified. Because here, no matter however great one tries to be, one is very easily humbled. Because one stumbles, therefore one will be humbled. Yeah. So you see, because there is a good balance. It's that intoxication is not there. In Swarga, there is intoxication of sense gratification. Higher planets, there is no much intoxication of sense gratification, but there will be intoxication of power. So one may fall down because of one's strength and purity. So can one fall down because of one's purity? Yes. I am so pure. I'm so great of Vaishnava. I have so many spiritual powers. These, one can fall down because. So those lokas, there are different challenges. That is why it is always best to directly aim for the Supreme Lord and not get sidelined, because a small deviation here there will straight take one to the hellish planets. Brahmaloka is only a milestone. It won't remain as a destination, because that small crevice will expand. Person will deviate. And that is how one keeps falling. That is how one keeps rotating in this material. Like that. So we want to get out of the root. One has to get out of the cycle of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. And that is why the Supreme Lord, the worthy Shri, no one else. That is why the Supreme Lord Lotus feet is the worthy Buddha, no one else. Otherwise, a small deviation in the higher planets will take one to the hellish planets. And then one, even if one realizes the mistake and folly, then one will rectify, again go back to the higher planet. But again, because it is not completely gone, it will again expand, 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 take one down, and again one will go up if one is, taking the lesson. Again will come down. So this is Punarapi Jananam Punarapi cycle which goes on. Unless one takes shelter of the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord. Only when one takes shelter of the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord can one get up. Yes.
It's possible also because we said that Gola Vrindavan is the highest place.
Yes.
So there is also the possibility like somebody wants from Vaikuntha to transfer Gola Vrindavan, like that's why she wants to pass.
Yeah, that is allowed. Spiritual world, so can one transfer from Vaikuntha to Goloka? Yes, if they want, they can transfer. If they want, they can get a permanent transfer. If they want, they can get an expansion. And one expansion is in Vaikuntha, one expansion is in Goloka. Whatever they want, they will be able to get that because the spiritual world is a wish fulfilling place. So whatever one desires, but whether one is in Vaikuntha or Goloka, one will be completely satisfied. The differentiation, uh, the differentiation between Vaikuntha and Goloka, Vrindavan, or differentiation between the rasas is from the Lord's point of view. From the living entity's point of view, as soon as the living entity reaches the Vaikuntha level, the living entity will be completely satisfied. Completely satisfied. Completely satisfied. It is not that okay, somebody is in Vaikuntha, a poor fellow is a low grade, and somebody is Gopi in in Govardhan and a high grade. No, the devotee is completely satisfied. But from the Lord's point of view, the Lord is still giving a hierarchy. And who is more closer to him? Now, as soon as the Vaikuntha qualifier is done, the living entity is completely satisfied. Therefore, shall we aim for Vaikuntha? Yes, we can. Now, what if we aim for Goloka and we land up in Vaikuntha? No problem. We'll be completely satisfied. Nothing to do. Now, because this is not material world. There is no Kuntha there. It's Vaikuntha. It's beyond the Kuntha. So we'll be completely satisfied. So let's read the next verse. Now we'll see 34 and 35 talk about Abhidaya. Okay, after establishing Sambandha, now what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? So what should I do? What should I not do? That is Abhidaya. Hridayartham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tadvidyādatmano māyam yatha bhāsho yatha tamaha. O Brahman, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality. Know it as my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in darkness. There the Lord is saying, oh Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relationship to me, it has no reality. Know it to be my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in darkness. So this is speaking about the principle of Abhidaya. How? Because so if that sambandha is there, then one will connect everything to one's eternal sambandha. That is called as Abhidaya. And that's why the Lord is saying that everything, when it is offered to Krishna, is valuable. Everything is not offered to Krishna, it's toxic. So anything seen in relationship to Krishna is valuable. Anything. So devotee sambandha is established. Everything one will connect to the object of the sambandha, the object of love or the beloved. Just like person marries. The person marries, then his sambandha is established. The marriage fire, 7 rounds around the fire, the sambandha is established. The sambandha is established. Now everything the person will do for the wife, same for the wife will do for the husband. The husband gets money, he will get for the wife. If he gets some food items from the market, from the restaurant, he will get double, get for his wife also. If he gets tickets to roam around, go for some hill station, he'll get 2 tickets. Everything what he does will revolve around the beloved. Same for the wife. She cooks everything. She cooks anything. She'll cook for the husband also. No? So, so, so that is called as abhidaya. So abhidaya is the process of devotional service, and the process is to connect everything, to offer everything to the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada very beautifully explained this in the purport. Some of the main highlights in the purport we will see. Prabhupada is saying, whenever there is forgetfulness of this prime relationship with the Lord, and whenever things are accepted as real without being related to the Lord, that conception is the product of the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. The illusory conception is called the reflection of reality in the darkness of ignorance. Anything that appears as apparently not being produced out of my energy is called as Maya. So now this is very beautiful. When anything is accepted without Krishna, that thing is not real. It is shadow, it is reflection, it is darkness. Means what? It will never satisfy us. One may say, I can get money. It is real. My bank account is showing it. Yes, we may say that. But that money can never satisfy us if it is not connected to Krishna. If it is not, if it is not used in Krishna consciousness. If we don't see it as coming in from the grace of the Lord. If we don't see it as coming it out of the mercy of the Lord and then offer it back to the Lord in gratitude, that money will not satisfy. Everybody in this world keeps trying it out. We can also join that same race if you want. But Bhagavatam's conclusion is that is simply illusion and it is not going to satisfy. That is simply illusion and it's not going to satisfy. So mental world is simply an illusion. So it won't be satisfied. That is the point. It won't remain also. It is temporary. Just like so many affluent people who might have made their houses and palaces in Los Angeles, California, everything is burned to ashes. So material assets are temporary. Two things are there. Either the thing will collapse, the belonging will collapse, or we will collapse. One of the two will happen. So, right. So sometimes the palaces, here the palace got burned. People are still there. Sometimes the palace remains there, the person dies. That way. So this is illusory concept. So that is real. But even during the time when both of them are there, the person is in the palace, still the person would not be able to enjoy. Why? Material world ensures that the person will not be able to enjoy it. Why? Because probably the colleague has made a more lavish choice. So one will not be able to enjoy it. Because because one has a stress tension when not getting sleep. The home sweet home, no sleep. Because the husband, the wife is ditched, because the children have gone out of control, and they are on drugs and they are on this or that, they are on crime records and whatever, So because dot, there are millions of reasons, like that, because one has got some terrible disease, because now there's a lot of politics, because there is, there are so many. So therefore, one has to understand that anything without Krishna, if it is accepted, it won't be real. It's simply illusion. Persons with a poor fund of knowledge become illusion, and therefore the so-called scientists, psychologists, empiric philosophers, etc., become dazzled by the glaring reflection of the sun, moon, electricity, etc., and they deny the existence of God, putting forward theories and different speculations about the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of everything material. All such advancement of science and knowledge in the present context of material civilization, but is nothing but an action of the covering influence of the illusory energy. The illusory energy has two phases of existence, namely the covering influence and the throwing influence. Avaranatmika and Prakshepatmika. Prakshepatmika, the kicking potency, the throwing potency, which kicks us or throws us towards the pathway of degradation, towards more and more entanglement. Now say the sun reveals itself. See, so beautiful. Therefore, the action of the different energies of the Lord or the personality of Godhead himself can be realized by the light manifested by the causeless mercy of the Lord. The impersonalists say that God cannot be seen. God can be seen by the light of God, not by man-made speculation. Here, this light is specifically mentioned as Vidya, which is an order by the Lord to Brahma. So let me offer everything to the Supreme. So this understanding that okay, everything, every situation is coming from the Supreme Lord. Because it is coming from the Supreme Lord, let me offer it to the Supreme. So in that sense, we can see everything in this material world is in this quantum state. What are the two dimensions of the quantum? Reality and shadow. Substance and shadow are the two dimensions. Now we are saying, okay, my body, is it substance or is it shadow? It's in a quantum state. Now it's not very clear to us what it is. So if we offer this body in the service of the Lord, it is substance. If we don't offer this body in the service of the Lord, it's shadow. My job is substance or shadow. Depends on whether we offer it to the Lord or not. So everything in this particular world is in this quantum state. My relationship with parents, my relationship with my wife, children, what is it? Is it useful? Is it not useful? Is it worthless? Is it substance or shadow? It depends on whether we put Krishna, whether we center that relationship around Krishna and we use that relationship to serve Krishna or not. So therefore, this is Abhideya. That if we want, it can give us a substantial result. But if we want it otherwise, it will give us a shadow, a titillation, an illusion. That's all. It will give us an illusion. Just like one skills. One skill can elevate a person Krishna consciousness if that skill is offered in service of Krishna. Then that skill will result in a nice service and that will please the Vaishnavas. The Vaishnavas will bless, Krishna will bless. Krishna will not bless saying that, okay, very skilled, you did a very nice service. No, not that. Krishna will say, oh, Vaishnavas are pleased with you. Okay. Then I'll bless. So then Krishna blesses. When Krishna blesses, the skill has helped us attaining the blessings of the Lord to the Vaishnavas. But if one is not Krishna conscious, then that skill will drown the person. Person will become arrogant, person will become proud, person will become greedy, lusty. So lusty, greedy, exploiting the needy, one will be devastated. What devastates the person? Skill. Why was Ravana not able to understand that the basic thing that let me take shelter of Lord Rama? Power. That is the problem. So person think because I have power, my lust has to be satisfied. Nothing can come in between. Nothing can come in between because I have power. See my power. Nothing can come in between. Ravana. You see? So the same skill, the same skill, the same skill. The skill can be used in the service of the Lord. Then it becomes glorious. Valmiki Muni very skilled. He's cursing a bird, the hunter. But that curse is coming out in such poetic words. Hearing those words, even Valmiki Muni is getting mesmerized. How beautiful, But it was not beautiful, it was a curse, like that. So he's in a dichotomy situation and he's thinking, it's so beautiful, But the meaning is so nasty. The meaning is not beautiful, but the composition is very beautiful. He was in a perfect state. What is this? He said beautiful came, but what came out was poison. And he's feeling sort of irritated. Brahmaji comes and he says, don't worry. You should now write Ramayana. She says, I don't know anything about Lord Ram. Follow the instruction. Do your sadhana nicely. Everything will be revealed to you. Write it in the same meter, the same composition. So the service was given. So his skill was utilized. In service of the Lord, he became Valmiki. Maharshi Valmiki. Is it not? And he's writing Ramayana before Lord Ram. So beautiful. Oh, the skill, the use in service of the Lord, the greatest act is not used in service of the Lord. It will be the very cause. Yeah, the skill will kill, Yeah. May that hunter who has killed the bird, he also, yeah, that hunter also suffers because he has killed the bird, and the small. So he's saying that something he says that may that fellow suffer, or I don't exactly remember what exactly the curse, but it was something to the effect of that hunter also suffers. So there's nothing glorious in the curse, but the meter was very beautiful. That was the point. So this is Abhideya. Only relation with Krishna. Yes. My relation is authentic means any material working in service of Krishna. Otherwise, everything is good. Yeah. This is what you believe in only that our relationships are whatever we have. Yes. So all of our relationships will be useful if Krishna is in between. So Krishna is between the relationship, and Krishna is the ultimate goal of the relationship. Then the relationship is meaningful. Otherwise, that relationship itself will be the cause of our degradation. Gandhari was independently attached to Duryodhana. She could have told herself to become a very nice devotee for her. Yeah. But her attachment for Duryodhana was more than her attachment to Krishna. Correct. That was the suffering. Even though she was a very chaste lady. Yes. But she used her chastity the wrong direction. Yeah, Gandhari mother, she used the chastity in the wrong direction. He would have offered it to Krishna, He could have, preached. See, Dhruva is going off track. Mother Suniti is preaching to her that you don't go off track. Duryodhana has gone off track. Mother Gandhari. So she had attachment. So then what good? What good she could do? What good she could do? She couldn't do much good. But devotee can do a lot of good. What good a devotee can do. So this is the point. This is the point which is being mentioned here. Like Diti is feeling very envious towards Indra, and she wants Indra to be killed. And I like that. And she's frowning, and then she uses her feminine tactics to please Kashyapa Muni. So Kashyapa Muni is, then Kashyapa is saying, okay, you ask benediction. Then immediately she's saying, hey, I want benediction that I get a son who will kill Indra. Kashyapa Muni is beating his head. I got cheated, owing to sensual vision, or getting attracted to feminine this thing. I got cheated, Now she is making me do such a nasty thing, Then immediately start chanting Hare Krishna, Immediately started chanting Hare Krishna. He got an idea. He said, okay, You have to follow what I say. She said, I'll follow. Very strictly you have to follow. No discrepancy, like that, So he gave up Kumsavana, Vrata, And his Vrata has all principles, very meticulous, mode of goodness, like that, You cannot say, by the power of this Mata, months and months, she's getting purified, And so, it's a slight discrepancy, Instead of having a son who will kill Indra, they will get a son who will be a greater friend of Indra, So small discrepancy happened after the like that. So then the Adityas were born, who are like very favorable to Indra. Yeah, she didn't wash it. Yeah. The very principle is that she didn't wash her hand, Indra went inside and he cut all the, the embryo, and then so many Maruts came up, And they started praying to Indra. He said, Indra, we are your friends, don't trouble us. I mean, please spare us, We are friends. Okay, let's read the next verse, 35. So this is Abhideya, that everything is in a quasi-quantum state, like that. Only when we offer it to the Supreme Lord, then it becomes beneficial and meaningful. Otherwise, it becomes toxic. So on its own, intrinsically, it's neither toxic nor beneficial, but temporary. Everything is like that, But everything is temporary. But owing to our attitude, it either becomes toxic or meaningful. This is Abhideya. Let me serve the Lord in all situations, in all circumstances. Good times, bad times, Krishna conscious all the times. Yes. So let's see text 35 now. Yadamahanti bhutani te sucha vache shivanu pravistani pravistani तथा तेषु न तेषवः So Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created and at the same time I am outside of the universal elements enter into the cosmos. At the same time, do not enter into the cosmos. That means they have a deeper root behind. They have a deeper root behind. Not entering the camp, that means they have a deeper root behind. What has come is just a projection. Actual thing is behind. Actual thing is behind. So this goes to show that the material thing which has come is just the reflection of the reflection of the reflection, like that. So if you just grab that material thing, we won't get the substance and juice. Juice is behind at the root because it has entered but not entered. What part has not entered, there the juice is there. What part has entered is only the trailer. So if we catch what has entered, we won't get the rasa. So that's the meaning of this. So that means everything. Bereft of the connection of the Lord is only a reflection of itself, and it can never give us the juice. So Prabhupada explains in the purport. In the developed stage of consciousness, the human being can study both physiological and physical science. But the basic principles of such sciences are nothing but the material elements and nothing more. See, so everything is the material elements. So these material elements are what is visible is just a part of it. There is much more behind. That means these material elements are material only because we have material vision. They are resting on the Lord. Herein lies the mystery of his transcendental knowledge purpose. This mystery is transcendental love of Godhead, and one who is surcharged with such transcendental love of Godhead can without difficulty see the personality of Godhead in every atom and every movable and immovable object. And at the same time, he can see the personality of Godhead in his own abode, Golu. So that is the point. Everything can be a mirror to show Krishna to us, provided we catch or relate with everything, or or provided we utilize everything in its proper utility, then everything can potentially see us, show us Krishna. Because everything is based out of Krishna, everything is an expansion of the energy of God. So it is there, but it has its root back at the lotus feet of God. So therefore, the vision of the devotees is not ordinary. It is purified by the process of devotional service. In other words, as the universal elements are both within and without, similarly the Lord's name, form, quality, pastimes, entourage, etc., as they are described in the revealed scriptures, or as performed in the Vaikuntha Lokas, far, far beyond the material cosmic manifestation, are factually being televised in the heart of the devotee. So how do we get this extraordinary vision? By the practice of devotional service purifies. When we are in pure state, we can connect to the devotees of the Lord. But actually, the pastimes of the Lord, the understanding of the Lord, is televised in the heart of the devotee. The spiritually developed person is able to have the television of the kingdom of God always reflected within his heart. That is the mystery of the knowledge of the personality of God. So therefore, see, this is highlighting the principle of Abhidaya. That yes, if you want to see the television of the spiritual world, the kingdom of God, if you want to experience how the Lord behaves, we want that in a dramatic way. One needs to connect to the devotee of the Lord. The devotee has the television. The Lord can award anyone and everyone liberation from the bondage of material existence. Yet, He rarely awards the privilege of love of Godhead, as confirmed by Narad Muni. Muktin dadati karhichit spana bhakti yogam. This transcendental devotional service of the Lord is so wonderful that the occupation keeps the deserving devotee always wrapped in psychological activities without deviation from the absolute. Thus, love of Godhead developed in the heart of a devotee is a great mystery. As the Lord's desire is infallible because he is Achyuta, similarly the desires of the devotee in the transcendental service of the Lord are also Achyuta, infallible. Now, this is very, very beautiful because this is explaining that the process of devotional service is very, very powerful. So two things that the Lord has given are very, very powerful. The process of devotional service and the devotees. And the Lord is saying if one just understands these two terminal, these two aspects very strongly, and no matter whatever be the conditioning of the person, one will be purified and one will be promoted to the spiritual. So the devotees and the process of devotional service are very, very powerful. As Prabhupada explains in the preface to Srimad Bhagavatam, that this Srimad Bhagavatam is so powerful. How powerful? It can transform, it can convert a crude man into a pure devotee. So we may be a crude man or a crude woman, but simply by connecting to this, connecting to the process, or ensuring the process by connecting to the devotees, what is guaranteed is that a crude man will be converted to pure devotee. So the process of devotional service is very, very powerful. Acharya has explained that this process of bhakti is so powerful that even if a person is blindly running towards Krishna, not knowing where to go, without having any directions, he doesn't, poor fellow doesn't have any directions, he's blindly running towards Krishna. Even if one is blindly running towards Krishna in the process of bhakti, one will not fall. One will not fall. It is so powerful. So, and therefore, Prabhupada explains, and actually the power of bhakti is what? That having done a little bhakti drags one to do more bhakti. In this way, devotional service, once having begun, Prabhupada says, the sadhaka, the devotee is dragged into perfection. Dragged into perfection. That's how the powerful the process of bhakti is. So, therefore, devotional service. Everything can be understood in its right perspective by the process of devotional service, by engagement in the process of devotional service. Therefore, one needs to have confidence. Okay, one needs to have confidence, that that I am performing this devotional service, it can resolve everything. It can resolve everything. So everything is resolved. No? Yeah, yes. That is one of the limb of surrender also. Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Shabda Shabda Vishwase Kari Shudrid Nishchay Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Kritvaye. How will things work out? By chanting Hare Krishna. How will the degraded empires be purified? Chanting Hare Krishna. You know? How will the darkness be removed? By chanting Hare Krishna. You know? How will the demons be vanquished? By chanting Hare Krishna. That is the point. The process is very powerful. And that is why the process is very powerful. And therefore, Kirtanya Sadahari. Because the process is very powerful. Therefore, it doesn't depend on the degree or the intensity of one's conditioning. The process itself is so powerful. So this is the glory of the process. You see, we were just meditating that this process of bhakti is so powerful and is such a great mercy of the Supreme Lord that we are given opportunity to perform the same activities that pure devotees perform, even without having the qualification. Only difference is pure devotees have realization what they are doing, and for us we don't have realization, but we can accept it on faith. What the Shastras say. So we are performing the same activity. Like say for example, cooking seva. Maybe we're thinking, oh, I have been given a dog cooking. You know? Why am I not there in other voice where there are three cooks? You know? Why my room got in this voice where like that. We think like that. So, but Radharani is doing cooking for this. And it's such a lofty service. So, although we have no devotion, but still Krishna is allowing us, Radharani is allowing us to render that service, and Charis are allowing us. They are purifying what we are offering, and then they are offering it to the Lord. So, we are given the same. This is how. So, we are given the same opportunity. The same Bhagavatam is there. The same preaching mission is there. The same deity seva is there. So all the activities of the Paramahamsas and the pure devotees are being given to all of us with all our contaminations. Even a neophyte has access to this. This is how powerful this is how powerful the process of devotional service is. Or this is how the process of devotional service highlights the supreme mercy of the Lord. This is such a mercy, such a fortune. Therefore, any opportunity to serve is so glorious because it actually is the service of the pure devotee. But it is not, but by the mercy of the Vaishnavas are giving us this opportunity that we can also engage ourselves. In that way, connect with the Spirit. So this is Abhidaya. This is Abhidaya. Yes, Sevadikar, Karunitas. Therefore, you have to understand service is a great privilege and fortune, and it's very rare. I'm getting this opportunity, and in my dynasty, some great fortune has occurred that I'm getting an opportunity to serve. Because by this service, not only I'll be delivered, the entire dynasty is going to be delivered. Text 36. Yes. 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 So if we go on practicing devotional service, everything is clear better. Yes. Also, they was keeping Krishna on the head. By keeping Krishna on the head, you get top priority to Krishna consciousness and practicing devotional service. Going on one step, other step was getting clear. Another step was getting clear. So this is how the process of devotional service is foolproof. We just need to walk. And text 36. Etavadev jigyasya tattva jigyasyanatmanah अन्वया व्यतिरेकाभ्याम यस्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा. A person who is searching after the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, must certainly search for it up to this in all circumstances, in all space and time, and both directly and indirectly. A person who is searching after the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, must certainly search for it up to this in all circumstances, in all space and time, both directly and indirectly. So this is prayojana. This is actually giving the matrix of prayojana, because the point is, abhi the process of devotional service, but where the which direction, to what goal, to what level, to what intensity, that barometer has to be set. That goal barometer has to be set, and that is prayojana. What is the falashruti? At goal parameter. Now, what the goal parameter is, what you have to chant. Now, like the Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita chapter 8, Lord Krishna is saying that, okay, what is the price which one has to pay to go back to God? How much we have to earn? How much you have to pay the price? And Lord Krishna is saying, price 24 hours remembrance of Krishna. And Prabhupada is explaining in the purport that remembrance of Krishna is not possible on its own. 24 constant remembrance means constant chanting. Otherwise, constant remembrance is not possible. In standalone, constant remembrance is not possible. So, constant remembrance means constant chanting. So, 24 hours remembrance means 24 hours chanting. And Prabhupada is saying 24 hours chanting. So, so what are we doing 2 hours? That is to get the momentum, so that we can chant further. It is not done for the day. That okay, I am done with Krishna consciousness. Now I can go peacefully go in Maya. Now I can peacefully drown in Maya. Next day morning I'll see. Whether I am devotee or not. So no, the 2 hours is to get the momentum. Therefore, Prabhupada said 16 rounds on the beats, hundreds of rounds off the beats. So the price to go back to God is the same. Constant chanting. Constant chanting. Smartavyam satatam Vishnu Vishwartamyam satat anandajatu chet. That is the price always. So this is prayojana. This is prayojana. So Srila Prabhupada explains the purport. You'll see. So the whole Prabhupada is saying that yes. Yes. Yeah, so we should not contaminate our bhakti. Therefore, it is very important to remain steadfast, to know the parameter matrix, the passing criteria, for qualifying criteria, so that we can go up to that mark. So the 2936, purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, see, the whole material existence has sprung up because of sense gratification. Desires primarily based principally on sex desire. And the result is, in spite of all advancement of knowledge, the final goal of activities of the living entities is sense gratification, which is a short way of increasing one's suffering. It's a short way of increasing one's suffering. Short way of increasing one's. So we can try to see that. So now when so the prayojana is the prayojana is, see, Prabhupada is saying that the goal of all inquiries, search and endeavors is to understand the mystery of Bhakti Yoga. The lowest of the human beings can be elevated to the highest stage of devotional service if they are trained by the bona fide spiritual master, well versed in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So the reflection of the sunlight in the darkness is unable to drive out the darkness, but the sunlight outside the reflection can drive out the darkness completely. Therefore, if we simply remain attached to the reflection, it cannot drive off the darkness. The sunlight can. Where is the sunlight? Where is the active principle? Where is the active connecting active principle? Where is the active connection to the Lord? Only through the devotees of the Lord. Only through the spiritual master. That is why 35 purport Prabhupada is saying, and the pure devotee is having the television of the Supreme Lord. Can show us the the television of the kingdom of the Supreme Lord. And that is why the pastimes of the Supreme Lord are televised in the heart of the devotee. And such a great devotee, can actually show us the spiritual world. And Srila Prabhupada did that. Srila Prabhupada did that. And when the pure devotee wants to show the spiritual world, it does not depend on the qualification of the recipients. The Prabhupada disciples, when they were with Prabhupada, they would feel as if they are beyond Maya. That was Prabhupada's influence. What was Prabhupada doing? Prabhupada created the spiritual world enough for them to experience. And those who continue to cling on to Prabhupada's instructions and Prabhupada's mission, they are still seeing the spiritual world, like that. And that is why we see that. That is why we see that a devotee aspires that, okay, let me go on serving my spiritual master life after life. The Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Evam janam vipatitam prabhavahi putre kama vikamanuya pratasangha kritvatmasat surashena vipalayantam soham katam na vrishye tava vritta sevam. How can I give up service to my spiritual master? Oh Lord, give me the benediction, life after life, for millions of lives. Let me go on serving this great devotee of yours, this great spiritual master who saved me from this deep dark well full of snakes, made me like him. The same old Bhakti Maharaj was saying at Sri Prabhupada, I have done all my services here. What you gave me, I'm ready for the next service. Please give me the next instruction. And in your next mission, and I want to, I'm ready for that next service. What is the next service for me? I'm ready, to assist you in your next mission, and I'm ready to assist you life after life. So this is Mama Janmani Janmani Ishwari Bhavatat that this kingdom of God is not televised, manifested, and the entrance into the kingdom of the Lord is practically made possible through the spiritual master and the mission of the spiritual master. Therefore, one should be committed to the mission of the spiritual master, in all circumstances, and and in serving the spiritual master, one is going closer and closer to Krishna. One is actually connected to Krishna. One is actually getting entrance into the spiritual world. Therefore, Mama Janmani Janmani Ishware Bhavata Bhakti Raheta Soham Katam Navrishaje Tav Vritti Seva. This is the Prayojana. This Prayojana will manifest it, with the connection to the spiritual master. It's yes. Yes. Tatradidakshatati Vallabhasya Vande Guru Shri Yeah. By serving spiritual master will be purified, and then we can gain entrance into the prema pumarsamaha, the love of God. The love of God. We remain on this mission. Our polluted hearts will get purified. The polluted goal of our lives will get purified, and we can also attain entrance into the eternal service of the Son. But in science, from a living personality of Bhagavatam life, it is difficult to cultivate. That's it. Yes. Yes. That we need living personality of Bhagavatam. Yes. So let's stop here for today. This is Chatur Shloki Bhagavatam, which was spoken to Brahmaji. And Brahmaji further explained, churned this, realized this, experienced this, and explained it to Narmuni. And that is how the knowledge is coming in the Brahma Sampradaya. These are the how Brahmaji could understand in 4 verses only. Okay, they say that Buddhiman ko sarai ka like that, so at least but we can also understand by the purpose of the Acharya, like Srila Prabhupada is giving us, so if we actually keep our focus that okay, let me lead my life based on Srila Prabhupada purpose, then we'll never be missing, because everything will be revealed, everything on the spiritual world is revealed through Srila Prabhupada purpose. And we can understand the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, mood of the Lord, connect to the Lord also properly and very clearly through Srila Prabhupada. Grantha Srila Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Hari Bol.